The Attorney General defends the Junkanoo Authority bill. Tonight, he says the response from the Junkanoo community didn't take him by surprise. But first,
OPM Communications Director Lukine Ramming refuting claims that his complaint to Urkel was political. This as Guardian radio station manager Dwight Strawn says he found out about it on social media. I'm Berthany McDermott. We'll have those details for you tonight on our news.
Plus, touch a horse, touch a life. We'll tell you the initiative for inner city youth. Then in our news at 7:30, biometric voters cards to be rolled out in 2026. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. Guardian Radio coming under attack. Office of the Prime Minister's Communications Director Lukine Ramming revealing on Thursday that he's filed a complaint with IRCA over the station's fill-in talk show hosts. Critics are calling the move political, but OPM Communications Director is shooting down those claims. Meantime, Guardian Radio station manager Dwight Strawn says the move took him by surprise. Berthany McDermott has the details.
Days after he filed an official complaint with the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority, Communications Director in the Office of the Prime Minister Lukine Ramming is refuting claims that his decision was fueled by politics. Ramming wrote to IRCA CEO Carlton Smith asking for a review into whether Guardian Radio breached IRCA's code of practice, highlighting that Earl Thompson, who also serves as public relations for the Free National Movement, appeared as a substitute host on Off the Record with Shivago Lang. Here is what Ramming says prompted his decision.
I don't believe that someone who has the sole responsibility of managing the Free National Movement's communication should be a host on a radio show.
Now, in response, Guardian radio station manager Dwight Strawn says he was shocked about the complaint, adding that he found out about it on social media.
Mr. Ramming knows my personal mobile phone number. In fact, just this week, he directly contacted me with a request. He frequently calls into our live programs, unsolicited.
He referenced IRCA's consumer protection regulation for the electronic communication sector, which says all complaints by consumers against service providers must be lodged and dealt with by the relevant service provider. The regulation states the consumer can escalate a complaint to IRCA if a service provider has not resolved a complaint within 20 business days. Both Ramming and Strawn said that didn't happen.
We are left to wonder if this is just another attempt to stifle freedom of speech and dissenting opinions, and to continue the disturbing pattern of gutting and silencing the media in the Bahamas.
After Ramming's letter was made public, many questioned the motive and suggested Ramming take a look at other stations instead. He left this bit of advice for the public.
Well, I encourage the public, if they feel like any broadcasting station, whether it be ZNS, Eyewitness News, The Guardian, or The Tribune, if they think that those stations are in breach of IRCA's policy, that they should file a complaint.
Meantime, critics have pointed out that when the Davis administration took office in 2021, they hired several journalists who are now employed at government agencies, including Clint Watson, who served as press secretary and is now the general manager at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. Reporting for our news, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Thanks for that, Berthany. Attorney General Ryan Pinder defending the Junkanoo Authority bill, saying the response from the Junkanoo community didn't take him by surprise. The bill was released for consultation this week, and the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence responded saying they did not support the legislation. The JCNP also suspended all Junkanoo activity. But the AG says despite what some may think, the bill will not make the JCNP null and void.
You would note that in the bill, the JCNP actually sits on the authority. So this isn't any attempt to pull any authority or to destroy any Junkanoo Corporation. It has nothing to do with that. In fact, what we have done is we have added the Grand Bahama Junkanoo Corporation on the authority, and we're looking to create a family island Junkanoo Corporation where we can actually get input on Junkanoo from the entire archipelago.
And Pinder says he's expecting that bill will be debated and passed when the House returns from its summer break. He adds the Bahamas looked to Trinidad and Tobago when crafting this bill.
They have a Carnival Commission, as you might know, and that's embedded in law. The Carnival Commission in Trinidad has been functioning for some time, and I think if you really look at Carnival in Trinidad and when it really became an international force for the country and a real source of remuneration, material benefit to those participants, as well as being able to commercialize what they do, it really happened after you saw the establishment of the Carnival Commission in Trinidad. We're looking at the same thing.
All right, it's not your typical summer camp field trip. No buses to the beach or movie theaters today. Instead, dozens of children from Freetown spent their morning grooming, petting, and even riding horses at Mariposa Stables. The initiative is part of an outreach program called Touch a Horse, Touch a Life, designed to introduce inner city youth to the sport of horseback riding and the life lessons that come with it. Delvado Emmanuel has the story.
From brushing coats to balancing in the saddle, these kids are learning the ropes and loving every moment of it. The event, now in its third cohort, is hosted by the governing body for equestrian sport in the country, and it's all a part of the Touch a Horse, Touch a Life initiative. President of Equestrian Bahamas, Catherine Ramsey-Pierre, says the goal is to introduce young people to the power of nature, animals, and sport.
That when you touch a horse, the empathy that exists in between the human and the animal. To ride a horse is, in essence, to be in a partnership.
The initiative is supported by Urban Renewal Freetown, who brought 43 children from their summer program to the stables. Inspector Deantia Coakley, who heads the division, says it's one of many ways they're working to keep young people engaged and positively influenced throughout the summer break.
We have also partnership with Ministry of Health, the Wellness Unit, which assists us with exercise. We also partnership with the Scan and Adolescent Center, who speaks about good touch, bad touch.
12-year-old Stephen Barrett shares his exciting experience at the farm.
The area was a fun experience because we learned how to groom horses. We learned which each tool does, and then we got to ride them.
For Erica Adderley, Vice President of Equestrian Bahamas and owner of Mariposa Stables, it's about more than just riding. She says the connection between child and horse can have deep, lasting impact.
The benefits of learning to be outdoors in a sport, in an activity, obviously good for the muscle, good for the body, good for the mind, good for the soul.
16-year-old Aisha Lubin and many others in the camp. This was also a first-time experience. She shares what it was like to ride Pride, the horse she was paired with.
At first I was scared, but afterwards I kind of got used to it. And then when we had the trot, which is letting the horse go a little faster, it was really scary at first, but then once you get it, it's really fun.
Now, you didn't think I was going to come here and let the kids have all the fun. And let me tell you, this bad boy here, he is working me hard for my story. Reporting for our news here at Mariposa Stables, I'm Delvado Emmanuel. See you back at the studio.
All right. Thanks so much for that story, Delvado. Well, if you're a parent with kids headed back to the classroom this fall, then this next story is for you. The annual VAT back-to-school holiday is just weeks away. The Department of Inland Revenue making the announcement today saying the period is set for August 10th through September 6th. Items like books, pencils, and rulers will be VAT-free across the country. It also applies to school uniforms, shoes, backpacks, and lunch boxes. Other items on the list include computer-related accessories, certain hair accessories, printer ink, hand sanitizer, disinfectant wipes, and sprays. The VAT holiday was launched back in 2020 under the former Minnis administration. It's become an annual event since then. For a full listing of items, you can check out our News' social media pages. All right, 5 men are in police custody tonight after police say they were caught with nearly $500,000 worth of marijuana on Thursday. Drug Enforcement Unit officers executed a search warrant around 5:30 p.m. at a property on Misty Blue Close. Inside the home, those DEU officers allegedly found 230 pounds of marijuana. The drugs have an estimated street value of $430,000. The 5 men, ages 58, 33, 29, 24, and 22, who were in the home at the time, were arrested. Prosecutors have dropped an attempted murder charge against a man accused of beating his brother in the head with a bat. Director of Public Prosecutions Cordell Frazier directed that proceedings against Alexio Charlo be discontinued. He was accused of beating his brother Alex Charlo in the head with a metal bat on August 28, 2024. Well, Sheffy's Deli and Grill opened their long-anticipated second location off the East-West Highway this week near our TV studios. Established in 2020, the eatery has been a staple in the Palmdale area for foodies trying to eat native on their lunch breaks. From breakfasts and lunches to their 3 times a week grill menu, Chefy's has grown their base over the years. Manager Rickshawn Thompson spoke about the work it takes to deliver quality food service year after year.
It takes plenty hard work, dedication, sleepless nights, and money. is very, especially within the Bahamian culture, and the cost of food is very expensive. So that's why you see certain businesses don't last as long as they would. But we've been in business from 2010, and I must say we had our rough seasons and we had our good seasons. So lately it's been better than worse. So I thank God for that.
When asked about what customers can anticipate with the new location, Thompson had this to say.
We have a bigger space now. We have a bigger dining room. You could sit down and talk. We have charging ports where you could charge your laptop while you work. We have drink menu. We added some things to the menu, which is our Chefy snacks. We added rock alarm to our jerk menu. We added plenty oxtail and mutton and stuff like on our native days. We added that to the menu. And then for breakfast now, we have a choice of croissants, bagels, or deli wheat for sandwiches. And we have our pancakes and waffles. We only had regular at the old Chefy's. Now we have the guava flavor, the banana flavor, everything like that.
All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Happy Friday, Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Gideon, and happy TGIF, everybody. Another warm evening setting up for us on the outdoors. Temperatures kind of a little above average, 87 degrees with a few clouds. Got a little bit of a breeze out there. East winds at 50 miles per hour. Feels like temperature still a very warm 93 degrees. Temperatures right now around the family of islands. It's a very warm 87 in Freeport as well. 85 in Marsh Harbour, Abaco. Pickup 87, Alistown, Bimini, Nicholstown, and Ross. 86, Great Harbour Key. Governor's Harbour 85, Central Bahamas 86 in Kemps Bay, Georgetown, the Exumas, Deadman's Key, Port Nelson, that's in Rum Key, also in Arthurstown, Cat Island, Black Point, Exuma 85, 84 in Copen Towns and Salvadoran, Southeast Bahamas 84, Duncan Town, Ragged Island, 86 Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, a string of 85s, Delectable Bay, Abrahams Bay, as well as in Providenciales, Turks and Caicos Islands. Deep South, Matthew Downey now, where you are, 87 at this hour. Satellite radar composite, nothing really to talk about. Ridge of high pressure from the Atlantic extending across our area, and that's keeping us rather dry, as well as some Saharan dust still mixed in there. So we're looking for some very warm temperatures over the next couple of days. So if you plan on doing anything on the outdoors for the weekend, make sure you take the necessary precautions. But that high will stay with us through the early part of next week. Not much in terms of any rainfall expected, and of course the Saharan dust will stay with us through that time frame as well. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, one local organization claims to facilitate the move for several student athletes from the high school level to colleges and universities abroad.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
He took a PVC pipe because I questioned him. Whilst I was 7 months pregnant, and he hit me, crossed my stomach with it, pushed me down on the bed, and he would rape me.
I told his daughters he's a rapist because that's what he's been doing to me when they're in there.
He always told me that this was something that fathers do with their daughters to express love and affection.
Because I am a woman, my children are presumed to take the citizenship of their father.
For God's sake, I mean, just morally, domestically, we are entitled.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. Legacy Nation Sports Group hosted its first college commitment ceremony at Living Waters Kingdom Ministries, celebrating several student athletes who signed to collegiate programs. The signees were across several disciplines: baseball, football, and athletics. Local signees included Rashay Pantry to Indiana Tech Track and Field, Jaden Walkien to Bethel University Track and Field, and in baseball, Chosen Brown and Cedric Duvalier to Bay College. According to founder Jadian Miller, his recruiting service boasts a 90% success rate with over 50 athletes earning scholarships to date.
Rashad Davis is headed back to the French Pro B League after re-signing with Cayenne Basket Calvarados for the upcoming season. The 6'3" forward averaged 9.6 points and 4 rebounds last year in 22 minutes per contest. Davis helped Cayenne finish 14th in the 20-team standings, avoiding relegation in their first Pro B season. His return brings versatility on both ends of the floor as Cayenne builds towards a playoff push.
The battle for flag football supremacy on the beach returns as Sand Wars 2025 gets underway at the Malcolm Park Beach Soccer Facility. Competition begins tonight at 8 p.m. and runs through the 27th. The action on Saturday kicks off at 9 a.m. and on Sunday we're primed for a 1 p.m. start. The 5-on-5 tournament includes teams from Nassau, Abaco, Grand Bahama, Cayman Islands, and the United States. And we wrap things up with the 10YS Plays of the Week. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as the French president sues a podcaster for claiming his wife was born male. Plus, Trump says an European Union trade deal will be big if it gets done. We'll tell you the meeting on tariffs set for Sunday. And Arabs in Israel protest, calling on government to end hunger in Gaza. The story when our news returns.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
He took a PVC pipe because I questioned him. Whilst I was 7 months pregnant, and he hit me, crossed my stomach with it, pushed me down on the bed, and he would rape me.
I told his daughters he's a rapist because that's what he's been doing to me when they're in there.
He always told me that this was something that fathers do with their daughters to express love and affection.
Because I am a woman, my children are presumed to take the citizenship of their father.
For God's sake, I mean, just morally.
We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte filed a defamation lawsuit in the United States on Wednesday against right-wing influencer and podcaster Candace Owens. The legal action centers on her claim that France's First Lady is male. Sayaka Jasny reports.
The Macrons said in a complaint filed in Delaware Superior Court that Owens launched a campaign of global humiliation to promote her podcast and expand her frenzied fan base. The result, it added, is relentless bullying on a worldwide scale. The lawsuit centers on Owens' 8-part podcast, Becoming Brigitte, with over 2.3 million views on YouTube. The Macrons claim the series spread false and devastating lies, alleging Brigitte Macron stole another person's identity, transitioned to female, and committed incest with a blood relative. The Macrons said in a statement from their lawyers that they sued because Owens refused 3 times to take back her hurtful claims. In her podcast on Wednesday, Owens said the lawsuit was littered with factual inaccuracies and part of an obvious and desperate public relations strategy to smear her character. Wednesday's lawsuit is a rare case of a world leader suing for defamation. U.S. President Donald Trump has filed multiple defamation lawsuits, including in a $10 billion lawsuit accusing the Wall Street Journal of defaming him by claiming he created a lewd birthday greeting for Jeffrey Epstein in 2003. The Journal said it would defend against that case and had full confidence in its reporting. In September, Brigitte Macron won a French lawsuit against two women who spread rumors about her gender. An appeals court overturned that ruling this month, and Brigitte Macron is now appealing to France's High Court.
And U.S. President Donald Trump said on Friday a trade deal with the European Union would be a big agreement and that there was a good 50-50 chance for it. The deal would likely include a 15% baseline tariff on all EU goods entering the United States and probably a 50% tariff on European steel and aluminum.
Yes, I'll be meeting with the EU on Sunday. And we'll be working on a deal. We'll see if we make a deal. Ursula will be here, highly respected woman. So we look forward to that. That'll be good.
And protesters in Israel marched Friday demanding an end to starvation in Gaza. Many held signs reading, "Gaza is not alone and starvation is a war crime." Gaza's health ministry says over 100 people have died from hunger since Israel cut off supplies in March. Although the blockade was eased in May, aid is still heavily restricted. UNICEF says 5,000 children were treated for malnutrition in early July, and the WHO has called the crisis man-made mass starvation. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was July 25th. Then in our news at 7:30, a veteran Junkanooer says a new bill will not water down the parades and says it will take it beyond our borders. And a South African man stabs a woman, then jumps overboard. We'll tell you more when our news returns.
He took a PVC pipe because I questioned him. Whilst I was 7 months pregnant, and he hit me, crossed my stomach with it, pushed me down on the bed, and he would rape me.
I told his daughters he's a rapist because that's what he's been doing to me when they're in there.
He always told me that this was something that fathers do with their daughters to express love and affection.
Because I am a woman, my children are presumed to take the citizenship of their father.
For God's sake, I mean, just morally, domestically, we are entitled to correct the problem that was done in 1972, 1973 when the Constitution was made.
We are overrun with sexual predators, but even worse, we are overrun with people who protect them.
This is our news. Welcome back. On this day in Bahamian history in 1860, the slave ship Peter Moel wrecked off Leonard Key in Abaco while transporting 400 enslaved Africans from the Congo to Cuba. Nearly all survived. Then in 1885, the Vatican transferred authority of the Catholic Church in the Bahamas from the Diocese of Charleston to New York. In 1956, House Speaker Frank Christie resigned following accusations of election fraud and corruption. And in 2014, Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation, BAIC, officially opened its corporate offices at the Soldier Road Industrial Park. Well, the launch of Carnival Celebration Key has placed a spotlight on Grand Bahama in recent weeks, and the island is still on a tourism high. Our Danielle Miller is on the island for the next few days with Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board to get a first-hand view of what they have to offer visitors. Tonight, she's highlighting all-inclusive 26-acre resort nestled on the south shore of Grand Bahama Island.
For the first time in a long time, I landed on the island of Grand Bahama and was met by Instagram moments from our host hotel. It was bright smiles and warm faces as we entered the Viva Fortuna Beach by Wyndham. As I stood in the lobby, I was enchanted by the serene landscape of the resort and its open floor concept. The representative for Viva Fortuna Beach tells me the all-inclusive resort prides itself on the atmosphere they provide to their guests.
We are a familiar resort. We have activities like sports. We do have a sport house where the guests are able to do kayak, snorkeling, paddleboard, and also we offer a trapeze. It's like we have two different schedules. In the morning we do class for trapeze for the children, and in the afternoon we attend our adult guests. We also do shows every night with dancing singers at 9:30, and then on Thursday it's our karaoke day.
As the hotel industry is one known to have seasonal increases and decreases, she says they've managed to retain a consistent clientele.
We usually don't have like low season. There is like more hard season in May, July, and November because that's the months that we have more weddings.
She adds, it's this one thing that makes them stand out.
We do different, is the love that we put in every details we do for our guests.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks so much for that, Danielle. To watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. It's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now, Talia Hall with the latest headlines. Talia?
TGI. I couldn't wait. I'm so happy it's Friday.
You know what? You said it for both of us.
Thanks so much, Kat. I hope you enjoy your weekend. Well, coming up, we take you to the fish fry in Grand Bahama with our Danielle Miller again. Here are your latest headlines.
First tonight on Our News at 7:30.
A proposed national Junkanoo Authority has caused quite a stir. Today I spoke with an avid Junkanooer who gave her take on what's going on. Stay tuned to Our News tonight for more details.
Also, with elections on the horizon, the Parliamentary Registration Department is shedding light on its ongoing work. Plus, a trip to paradise has ended in tragedy. A 35-year-old man is dead, and a 28-year-old woman hospitalized following a fatal accident in waters off San Salvador. And later, nearly 3 months after the Grand Lukine sale was signed, some residents are wondering if promises made will actually be kept. We have an update when Our News at 7:30 returns.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Keisha, one thing with you ain't never have no money. I just sent Miko inside Wendy's just now because Wendy's having their summer promo. Just hot cash, girl. Yes, hot cash. But anyway, we did this one right now. We trying to win this $10,000. And even if you ain't win the $10,000, you can win $2,500 every week. Even if you don't get no ride, Keisha. Anyway, Keisha, I go on Miko Reach. Fine. All you gotta do is upgrade any combo between 1 to 12 to medium or large. And they get this new spicy chicken club sandwich. But I just sent Miko inside there for from June 24th to August 1st. You ain't getting the Wendy's, that's on you. But don't ask me for no money when I win.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lukine solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainability.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. With the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence in a standoff with government over a proposed bill, one avid Junkanooer, an expert on the cultural expression, is throwing her support behind the bill. She's also calling on the JCNP to stand down. Our Joshua Williams reports.
A proposed national Junkanoo Authority has caused quite a stir in the community, with avid Junkanooers on both sides of the fence. Today I spoke with one of them who had a lot to say about the issue. The bill that has caused an uproar in the Junkanoo community proposes a major shift, removing the JCNP as the sole authority over Junkanoo parades in New Providence and replacing it with an independent body that would also oversee Junior Junkanoo. If enacted, it would also formally assign parade management to the new authority and include Junior Junkanoo. While many are against it, veteran Junkanooer Angelique McKay says she's all for it. Here's why.
It makes me happy as a Junkanoo to see that they're finally listening to some of the demands that we've been putting forth. And I look forward to going through that document with a fine-tooth comb to see what it is that they're proposing.
Since the announcement, the JCNP's position has been clear. A letter was sent out to Junkanoo groups stating all Junkanoo activities would be put on pause. A recent meeting between the Corporation and Culture Minister, Mario Boleg, made little progress in easing the tension. McKay says she doesn't agree with the JCNP's position.
To take something that means so much to so many of us away from us by not allowing us to be a part of Junkanoo practices as a penalty for not voting a particular way, it saddens me.
The Genesis Warhawks, an established category group, says they're resuming all practices and will participate in the upcoming Fox Hill Day Parade. McKay, who's a member of the group, says it's the right thing to do.
We have quite a number of teenagers in our Junkanoo group that are in our back line, in our brass section. Revenue that's generated from our practices goes towards buying instruments for those teenagers to assist with them with their costumes as a part of what it is that we do. It's a fundraiser.
McKay, who has spent years traveling the world and taking Junkanoo to the international stage, says the focus should be on keeping the tradition and history behind the cultural expression alive, and she believes this bill does just that. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Thanks so much, Josh. Government is moving forward with upgrades to the general election voting process with a biometric voter's card in the upcoming general election. National Security Minister Wayne Munro told parliamentarians the amendment to the Parliamentary Elections Act will be debated soon. It comes after the official opposition accused government of rushing the process for biometric cards. Acting Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson telling us 80% of voters have already submitted their biometric data for the cards, adding that the cards will be distributed by 2026. It came as the team at the Parliamentary Registration Department wrapped up its recommendations for the way forward. At a press conference Friday, Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson explained these details for the new cards.
These cards will include a photo, fingerprint, signature, and registration number, embedded securely with features to prevent tampering or duplication. They will be valid for 10 years. And printed using durable, tamper-resistant materials.
He stressed a biometric card is not required to vote, regardless of an upgraded card or not. Thompson also committed to an aggressive education program and plans to continue work to make the process easier. And when it comes to the benefits of this new card, he had this to say.
The Act calls for a voter verification exercise at least once every 10 years. During that time, voters will confirm or update their information and biometric details. This ensures we remove the names of the deceased persons and keep our records current. And since 2017, according to our records, we have removed around 15,000 deceased persons from the register.
A 35-year-old South African man is dead and a 28-year-old South African woman is in stable condition after a fatal incident in waters off San Salvador. Police say the man and woman were on board a boat when the man reportedly stabbed the woman multiple times. He allegedly fled the scene by jumping in the water, where he was found unresponsive a short time later. He was pulled from the water back onto the vessel and pronounced dead by the boat's medical staff. The woman was treated and remains in stable condition. An autopsy is scheduled to determine the man's exact cause of death. Well, a man accused of killing an inmate and injuring two others says he acted in defense. Diallo Williamson is charged with the February 1st, 2025 murder of Brody Fitz and the attempted murders of Nicanor Moss and John Pratt. Prosecutors say Williamson stabbed Fritz and Moss when they were let out of their cells to empty their night pails. Williamson pleaded not guilty to the charges when he appeared before Justice Guillermina Archer-Minnis. He told the court that he was attacked and acted in self-defense. Williamson is expected to learn his trial date when he appears before Justice Dale Fitzpatrick on August 15th. A 34-year-old man has been sentenced to 35 years in prison for murder. Justice Guillermina Archer-Minnis handed Daniel Roll the sentence today. In December 2024, he was unanimously convicted of the January 15, 2012 murder of Dennis Tynes. At around 2 p.m. on the day in question, Tynes was at his mechanic on Lincoln Boulevard when he was accosted by a gunman wearing a hooded jacket. The gunman shot Tynes in the head, back, and left shoulder. Roll confessed to the crime. However, he claimed the confession was made under duress. Now turning to Grand Bahama, nearly 3 months after a signing ceremony for the sale of the Grand Lukine Resort, some Grand Bahamians are wondering what's the status of the deal. Tonight, we revisit what was promised, what's changed, and what's coming next for the long-awaited transformation of the resort. It was a major moment in Grand Bahama back on May 16th. Celebration, smiles, and high hopes. This as government signed a heads of agreement with U.S.-based developer Concord Wilshire to purchase and redevelop the Grand Lukine Resort. The $827 million project is being touted as a game changer for Grand Bahama. Prime Minister Philip Davis, speaking at the signing, said the development would bring 1,300 construction jobs and more than 1,700 permanent jobs to the island. Developers also painted a vibrant picture of what's to come. Plans for a full-scale cruise resort, a revamped 25,000 square foot casino, a Greg Norman designed golf course, oval water cabanas, beach clubs, family attractions, water parks, retail outlets, music venues, restaurants, and more. But fast forward to now, nearly 3 months later, some residents have said the project seems to be in a holding pattern that's prompted questions from the public about what's happening behind the scenes. Well, a recent letter was sent to travel partners and obtained by Our News confirming the sale is indeed moving forward. In that letter, hotel management stated, quote, "We hereby advise that the hotel has been sold and the new owner will take over on August 15, 2025, end quote. The letter also noted that bookings beyond July 31st, 2025 will not be accommodated. It went on to recommend other local resort for guests needing accommodations after that date, acknowledging the disruption this may cause for their travel plans. So where does that leave things now? Well, we asked the Minister for Grand Bahama, Ginger Moxie, for an update on the project's progress on Thursday evening during the island's 2025 Gumbe Summer Festival. Here was what she had to say.
It's progressing. You know, of course, there was a sale, and so we're just looking forward for what's next. I think the Prime Minister would have spoken on it recently. I'm just excited that finally there's movement on the hotel, and Grand Bahamians, Grand Bahama Island is moving in the right direction.
While there is renewed optimism about the direction of Grand Bahama's economy, the recent arrival of the first cruise ship at Celebration Key on Saturday, July 19th, marked a major milestone. One many hope signals sustained growth for the island. In our exclusive monthly sit-down interview with David Slatter, Vice President and Group Head of Investment at RF Bank and Trust, he shared why this latest development is a good move for Grand Bahama. He also weighed in on the latest update regarding the Grand Lukine Resort, with new owners expected to take over on August 15th. Slatter says this transition is another promising step towards economic revival.
As they did in the past, and getting prepared to take on new owners and a new booking system. So I view it as a positive. It's another one of those little positive developments in Grand Bahama, right? So not to say you suddenly run out and get a mortgage to to take on a skeptical business venture, but continue to pay attention and view it as a positive development. Well, it's always nice when things that we talked about that were a year ago were theoretical and 6 months ago hopeful, and now has actually happened, right? So to see Celebration Key open and to see hundreds of Bahamians actually working and making salaries, is key. It's not necessarily that close to Freeport proper, so it is kind of isolated, but it is designed to be kind of this standalone attraction for the cruise passengers. But, people who live and work in Freeport and earn salaries will in turn have money now for spending in Freeport and hopefully improve their ability to qualify for mortgages and loans. And, there's a multiplier effect in the local economy. So very positive development. I saw Shaquille O'Neal was there, and I can't remember his title, but it definitely was appropriate.
All right, fun times. Well, nice weather on this Friday evening. Hopefully, we continue to see these conditions throughout the weekend. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and welcome everybody on this TGIF Friday. A very warm evening setting up for us on the outdoors. Temperatures still in the upper 80s, even though we got to some 90s earlier today. 87 degrees, few clouds. It's on the breezy side. East winds at 15 miles per hour. Feels like temperature still a very warm 93 degrees. Satellite radar composite, all is quiet across area. Ridge of high pressure is in charge, and that's providing us with some dry air mass as well as some breezy conditions. The winds have fallen off quite a bit. We still have caution flags posted for the southeast Bahamas and, of course, along all the Atlantic exposures. So if you plan on doing anything on the waters, make sure you take the necessary precautions. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, the National Training Agency is teaming up with BTVI to give young Grand Bahamians hands-on skills and high-demand trades. It's a major move to ensure more Bahamians are job-ready. And later, young creatives with a passion for storytelling are being given a chance to shine. A local summer camp focused on filmmaking is underway in Grand Bahama, and that's all coming up when our news returns.
Energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as NT Corporation shines brighter than ever. NT Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
At Struckham, we're all about peace of mind. With the latest tools and technology like PestPack, managing pest control just got easier. It's simple. Log on to the portal to review past services or monitor trends. Just tap Service Reports to access detailed records and see how we're keeping your business pest-free. You can even customize permissions so your teams in maintenance and health and safety have real-time access to everything they need. With PestPack, you're in control, anytime, anywhere. Get ready to simplify pest management with just a few taps.
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves to be celebrated in full color, and that's where we come in.
The National Training Agency is teaming up with the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute in Grand Bahama for the very first time, launching Cohort 19 this September. The Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce is also involved. The partnership will offer hands-on training in a range of high-demand trades, including electrical work, plumbing, carpentry, welding, auto mechanics, HVAC, and much more. The goal, to ensure Bahamians are technically skilled and ready for the job market. The 14-week program targets young people between the ages of 16 and 26. Officials say thousands of Bahamians have already gone through the program and gone on to secure jobs. At a recent press conference to announce the partnership, BTVI's head of construction and mechanical trades, Kenton Roker, pointed to the growing demand for technical professionals in Grand Bahama, while Associate Vice President at BTVI, Veronica Colley, says they are grateful to partner with the NTA.
The welding program is in high demand. Skilled, trained auto mechanics or automotive technicians, especially when it comes down to the diagnostic side of it. We are lacking in that area. And so again, BTVI is invested in the equipment. We have all the diagnostic equipment. We have simulators that these students will be using so that when they go into the workforce, they'll be able to perform and represent us very well.
We want our people to get to that point where they are able to run the country. And when I say run the country, I'm thinking about from the construction trade standpoint, meaning that if you look around you, what you have around you basically relate to construction trades. You have your lights, you have your air conditioning, and none of these things could work without having people to actually fix them.
And for those interested in the orange economy on Grand Bahama, there may be an opportunity to turn your creative passion into purpose. This as a local film summer camp is once again rolling out the red carpet for aspiring filmmakers The CMP Film Camp, now in its 4th year, is back in session at the Bishop Michael Alden School Auditorium, hosted by Cranston McDonald Productions. The camp offers hands-on experience in screenwriting, producing, and acting. This year's theme is Ready, Focus, Action, and that's exactly what students are doing as they work towards producing more films like Dolphin Summer, produced by the organization. The camp runs weekdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Camp Director Cranston McDonald says the program continues to evolve.
This camp was tailor-made for actually kids in the beginning. We had from age 12 and up. Then we started to add adults in it because, you know, when you start to do movies, you can't have kids acting as adults. It won't sell. So now we actually told some of the parents and some of the actors, adult actors, if they wanted to be a part of it, they could have been a part of it. The camp is actually for 2 weeks.
We look forward to developing young people that are future, and certainly the Tourism Development Corporation stand by. And so this is really impressive to see this production here.
And that was the director of the TDC, Stephen Johnson, which also supports the program. Additionally, Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama Kwesi Thompson and Senator Kirkland Russell also addressed the young people.
It will take hard work, it will take determination, but you most definitely can achieve the top in the world at what you are talented in doing.
The government recognizes the tremendous value of the cultural and creative community. For this reason, we are committed to supporting artisans in the orange economy, ensuring they have the resources they need to thrive and contribute to our cultural and economic landscape.
Coming up in sports, Legacy Nation Sports Group announces its latest group of signees. Rashad Davis reaches a contract extension in France. Sand Wars returns, and your 10YS Plays of the Week.
Mora's The Paint Place has been bringing color and vitality to homes and businesses across the Bahamas. Here, color is more than just a hue, it's a symbol of life. Together, we can paint a brighter future.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Whether you're battling a chronic condition or offsetting a new injury, Doctors Hospital's comprehensive rehab services offer the help you need now.
Go to doctors.
3 advanced facilities at Collins Avenue, Carmichael Road, and Cable Beach means your personalized plan for care is just a visit away. From physiotherapy to occupational therapy and speech and language pathology, our team approach is all about rebuilding together. For a full list of services, visit doctorshosp.com/rehabilitation. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Martinutt. Let's do show. Legacy Nation Sports Group hosted its first college commitment ceremony at Living Waters Kingdom Ministries, celebrating several student athletes who signed to collegiate programs. The signees were across several disciplines: baseball, football, and athletics. Local signees included Rashay Pantry to Indiana Tech Track and Field, Jaden Walkian to Bethel University Track and Field, and in baseball, Chosen Brown and Cedric Duvalier to Bay College. According to founder Jadian Miller, his recruiting service boasts a 90% success rate with over 50 athletes earning scholarships to date.
I met Coach Jadian at CV Bethel. It was a gentleman's club we was having, and from the first day I saw him, I was like, this guy just gets something, I don't know what it is. He just get that. Yeah, and he was just talking about the sports group, and at the time I was with that organization. So, but I was hearing and I was listening to him, and then a few days later, a parent in my track club, she told me about him, and I was like, this name getting sent around a lot. And from the day I met him, I was like, you know what? I think I could stick with him.
Rashad Davis is headed back to the French Pro B League after re-signing with Cayenne Basket Calvarados for the upcoming season. The 6'3" forward averaged 9.6 points and 4 rebounds last year in 22 minutes per contest. Davis helped Cayenne finish 14th in the 20-team standings, avoiding regulation in their first Pro B season. His return brings versatility on both ends of the floor as Cayenne builds towards a playoff push.
The battle for flag football supremacy on the beach returns as Sand Wars 2025 gets underway at the Malcolm Park Beach Soccer Facility. Competition begins tonight at 8 p.m. and runs through the 27th. The action on Saturday kicks off at 9 a.m. and on Sunday we're primed for a 1 p.m. start. The 5-on-5 tournament includes teams from Nassau, Abaco, Grand Bahama, Cayman Islands, and the United States. It's Friday, but it's also 2 weeks since Clips released their latest album. I think that should be the top play of the week, but, sports. Let's see what we got. Let's get started at 5, getting right back to it out of the All-Star break. Sebastian Walcott and Jazz Chisholm. Told you they hit him when it counts.
At number 4, Claude Burrows puts this kid on a poster. Wearing number 23, seems like GOAT life.
At number 3, national record holder in the javelin, Keyshawn Strachan looks like he might be the national record holder in shot blocks. This is embarrassing.
At number 2, finally, she's back. JJ makes a return to the court, and guess what? The Liberty get the dub.
And at number 1, this is why you can put a Bahamian athlete anywhere and they'll excel at it. Ryan Reckley makes the move from the infield to the outfield and makes plays like this. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. Okay, that's done, but we got to spend the rest of the weekend in this production meeting, and that's arguing the list of legends.
So they'll know by next week who we're going to pick for the best basketball players in the country.
Clayton Smiley Miller's number 1. Back to the studio.
When our news comes back from the break, our Daniel Miller heads to a local favorite at the Grand Bahama Fish Fry, where good food meets island history. That's all coming up when our news returns.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, from the teams you already trust.
He took a PVC pipe because I questioned him. Whilst I was 7 months pregnant, and he hit me, crossed my stomach with it, pushed me down on the bed, and he would rape me.
I told his daughters he's a rapist because this is what he's been doing to me when they're in there.
He always.
This is our news. Welcome back. High pressure in charge of our weather. It's providing us with some dry air mass as well as some Saharan dust mixed in with that. So we're looking at some very dry conditions over the next couple of days. High pressure is weakening as well across us, so the winds have started to fall off across the northwest and central Bahamas. Southeast still a caution flag for you, but along the Atlantic exposures, we'll still keep a caution flag posted. The tropics, quiet. We have a few tropical waves to talk about. Nothing really happening out there, though. One coming off the African coast, another one the central Atlantic. And then we have two more, one moving into the Leeward and Windward Islands, another one into the central or western Caribbean. And of course, the Gulf of Mexico remains quiet. Future forecast showing nothing happening across us. All the moisture staying west and east of us. We have an upper level disturbance that will approach us from the east, but nothing much happening with that. Should be falling apart. Of course, conditions will remain rather dry. Boating conditions, northwest and central Bahamas tonight to tomorrow. Northeast to east winds, 10 to 15 knots. Seas running 2 to 4 feet over the open waters. Slightly higher along Atlantic exposures. High tide is at 9:18 tonight. Low tide at 3:46 in the morning. Southeast Bahamas, caution flag in place. An advisory really for the extreme southern islands. That's Inagua. Easterly winds 15 to 20 knots, gusting higher times. Seas running 4 to 7 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. taking us into the weekend for the next 7 days. Saturday looks beautiful, some sunshine, maybe a mix of clouds in there. Pleasant sunshine on Sunday, some isolated showers on Monday expected, but those temperatures will stay near the 90, and some of those reaching into the 90s. Feels like temperatures will be approaching the triple digits. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night and have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, our Daniel Miller has been in my hometown, Grand Bahama, this week visiting some of the most popular tourist attractions on that northern island. One of those stops, the fish fry, where she got to sample some of her favorite dishes at a local restaurant with a rich history. She tells us more in this report.
I was told at Grand Bahamas Fish Fry, I will have the best fish that I'll ever taste in my life. And where can I find it? Outriggers.
Located in the close-knit community of Smiths Point, the family-operated restaurant Outriggers Beach Club sits on the coastline and gives guests and locals the option of dining in the sand while overlooking the water. As we entered, we were welcomed by the ocean's breeze. Inside, there's a festive feel with customers line dancing and others being served delicious meals from cast iron skillets. One of the elders of the restaurant, Dwight Wilson, says this island treasure was discovered almost 40 years ago amongst the ashes.
This came about when our church burned down a couple of years ago. And we started this to raise funds for the church. When we got the funds for the church and the church was built, people never stopped coming.
One of the draws, the mouth-watering dishes like grilled ribs or chicken with side orders like macaroni, potato salad, plantain, peas and rice, and more.
The fish, always. They love the fish.
But is it really that good? With that said, it was time for our taste test.
Okay. So I've literally only taken one bite and the flavors. It is seasoned. Like when I tell you seasoned, seasoned. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Now, Danny, I heard you say that Grand Bahama is in the top 5 when it comes to great food, but I think based on that, it's number 1. Now, of course, to see that story again is available now at ournews.bs. And with that, we thank you so much for Our News, joining us for Our News tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night for the weekend edition with our Megan Shepherd. Have a great evening. Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.